You're watching a B.A.S.S. presentation.
Good morning, good morning. It is the weekend, day 3 here at Toledo Bend, and day 2 provided quite a bit of drama, including this 8.5 pounder for your brand new leader, Pat Schlapper, overtaking Kiyoya Fujita on day 2 by just a few ounces, and he will lead out the pack today for day 3. The first cut of the year, the top 50 advanced to semifinals Saturday here at Toledo Bend, and there's your official leaderboard after yesterday's competition. 55.9 for Pat Schlapper has him on top. 55.6 right behind him for Kiyoya Fujita. Robert G., the highest rookie in our field right now, 51.10, a couple pounds back. 50 pounds even for Patrick Walters. Those four are all on pace for 100 and breaking the Century Club possibly. Jordan Lee also sneaking in our top 5. He'll be on camera today along with the rest of the top 10. We welcome you in to the Star Brite Facebook Live pre-show for day 3 here. Such, Toledo Bend. It's been a little tiptoe through day 1 and 2 for some anglers. You got to make it through and survive, but we have cut it to the top 50.
You certainly have the haves and the guys who have not been catching it, but the guys who have been catching it are saying they may be so much pressure in their areas that today may be a little bit tougher, even though the weather's going to be a little calmer, less wind.
If you've competed weight-wise and you've gone a little north of takeoff, you should have it to yourself. If you've competed weight-wise and you go maybe on the Louisiana side, you could have it to yourself. But a couple of our key areas that have notoriously played in the past most definitely have a ton of pressure, like you said, Such. As we look at takeoff currently right now, compared to the last few days, those flags couldn't be any more still, Such. We've had wind from the south, pretty strong on day 1. We've had wind from the north and from the west at times on day 2, and today it doesn't look like there is a breath of wind relatively at Toledo Bend, which is a good sign for navigation and for those who are using their electronics. It will be much calmer this morning. We will have cameras with the top 10 anglers today, and one of those, Stetson Blaylock, gave us a rundown.
Well, we accomplished the first goal, which I say this all the time, but the goal out here is to make top 50 cuts. I mean, that's how you make a living. That's how you provide for your family. But in my mind, I'm not satisfied. I want a top 10, and we have another great opportunity today. We know what to do. We know where they're catching those giant bags. I mean, I had 24 the first day. Didn't have as much yesterday, but I'm around them. I'm around the guys that are in the top couple spots. I'm around the fish that it's going to take to do well. I've got the right baits to get them in the boat. We have an opportunity, and that's all I can ask for today. I feel good about it. I feel like the wind's not going to blow as hard today, so it's going to give you a little more opportunity. Like if you see a fish that doesn't want to bite, I feel like it's a little better opportunity to chase those fish down. So top 10 now is the ultimate goal. I'm not too concerned with, if I don't catch them, I don't catch them, but I know what to do. I know where I'm going to be. I know what I have to catch, and that's 5 4-pounders or more. Get that 20-plus pound bag, stay in the top 10, and get to fish on Championship Sunday.
All that's left to do is for Stetson Blaylock to catch him, Such. He is keeping the streak alive. He made all 9 Elite Series top 50 cuts last year, him and Kyle Welcher, and carrying that into this year. He is in the cut once again. Welcher, I believe, just missing the cut. So he's looking to make it to the top 10. And another angler that we'll have on live today. Welcome back to the Elite Series. It took you long enough to get on camera, just 2 days in the season, and Jordan Lee will be on camera for day 3.
Man, I'm feeling good. After practice, and I was just trying not to bomb this tournament. I didn't want to be embarrassed first time back. So there was a lot of pressure coming into this tournament. I mean, a lot, like more than past classics and anything, because I knew the attention was going to kind of be on me. Everybody's going to look on the leaderboard, see where I'm at. So after the first day, man, the pressure was off. I was like, got the first day over with, and yesterday was fun. I enjoyed just trying to fish and trying to find them. And then the day's the same way. I mean, the rest of the year, I feel like gonna not be as bad as that first day. So I'm excited about, the day and see if we can't figure it out and try to find them.
Such, if you saw those drone shots right there, look at how clean and organized with 1 or 2 rods Kiyoya Fujita's is. Meanwhile, Patrick Walters, who we saw just before this shot, has probably 25 rods on the front deck. So some guys are keeping it all honest.
He had our dirty 30 on day 2, 30 pounds. He's way low on bass track, but he snuck in there with 30 pounds, 5 ounces.
The consensus,
jumped from 27th to 4th.
The consensus Angler of the Year preseason pick by the Bass Live crew, Patrick Walters, sitting in the top 5 after catching 30 pounds, like you said, Such. And so we've got a star-studded top 10. The fish have showed up, and we are going to maybe see a Century Club, but we're just halfway there. We're about to kick off day 3. If you're just joining us on the Star Brite Facebook Live, let's take you through some of the day 2 action with the top guys. Kiyoya Fujita specifically, he was our day 1 leader. Suchi had 31 pounds on day 1. Followed it up with a good bag yesterday, but not in the lead. He got overtaken.
Good bag at 24. He just didn't have those 6+ pound fish. He had several of them on day 1 to get to 31.
Kiyoya Fujita, obviously well-versed with his electronics, and we've seen him show out all across the country. He's had some slip-ups here and there in his few years fishing in America, but for the most part, he is going to be in most of the cuts. He's going to factor in a lot of these tournaments, and to see his patience, it seemed like yesterday, Such, about midday, a lot of anglers started evacuating areas, making some moves if they didn't have quite the weight they thought they should. Pressure was high in some areas, but he stayed patient, and we saw a couple misses and then a couple big ones come in for him later, too.
Fujita was the one who was saying pressure, 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 but he caught fish, and then he had a lull, and he caught that one late after we left.
They did start to bite funny for him a little bit, and one reason he was able to be overtaken by this guy right here, Pat Schlapper, our day 2 leader, is because Schlapper caught an 8.5 pounder. Those will go a long way, especially at Toledo Bend. An 8.5 pounder for him, anchored his bag, but after we ended Bass Live, Such, he made another big move.
7-12, late in the day, 2:47, right before check-in to get up to 27 and overtake Fujita for the lead. We got 4 guys on pace for 100 pounds. Those 2 have kind of spread themselves a little bit ahead, a little bit of breakaway going on.
You always want to get off to a good start, but it seemed like the first hour wasn't kind of Pat Schlapper, but the last hour of the day was. That 7-12 is huge. There's his 8-8 from day 2. He thought, I've caught plenty of 10s. That's probably a 10-pounder. Not quite, just under 9 pounds, but he is our leader, and like you said, we've got 4 guys over 50 pounds, but there is a little bit of a breakaway. If you look at that leaderboard, you've got Schlapper and Fujita. A little bit of a gap before Robert G.
You got to watch out for those guys. The Walters, the G. Chris Johnson had our 9-pound, 3-ounce big fish yesterday to jump from 30th into the top 5.
Luke Palmer, Stetson Blaylock. We've got a couple other rookies like Logan Parks as well. You'll be able to watch the whole top 10 fishing live today on Bassmaster.com throughout all of today. But at 8 a.m. Eastern time, we'll give you a treat. 3.5 hours on Fox Sports 1. So just strap in from 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on Fox Sports 1, and you'll see all the action from the boats, all the fish, and even more teaching on the way.